Welcome, I am the Kaiju no Kami, and today's review is Destroy All Monsters. Back in 1968, Toho originally decided it was time to put Godzilla to rest and end the series with an epic so big, nothing would ever be able to compete against it. As such, they threw in several of their monsters that have appeared in both the Godzilla series and other movies alike. Gorosaurus from King Kong Escapes, Varan from Varan, and Baragon from Frankenstein Conquers the World all make appearances in this one. And Ghidorah also made his first appearance since 1955's Godzilla Raids Again. They even got Godzilla's founding fathers back as Ishiro Honda, Akira Ifukube, and Eiji Tsuburaya all returned to helm this beast. So is Destroy All Monsters the epic that Toho wanted? Let's find out. The movie kicks off with the narrator telling us it's the year 1999 and that a base has been established on the moon. We see the ship SY-3 taking off to head towards it. It is also established that the United Nations had taken one of the Bonin Islands and turned it into a scientific island where all the world's monsters are kept, calling it Monsterland. Godzilla has another new suit here, and it looks meh. The rest of the monsters all seem to be how they appeared in their last movie. One thing I do not get is why Mothra is there, though. Why is she here? Why would the Nasal Author gotta be imprisoned in a zoo? Where are the fairies? What happened to Infinite Island? Why do we only see Mothra as a larvae? Is this the siren larvae from previous movies? Is this a new larvae? Is there more than one? Did this island used to be Infinite Island? We are then introduced to Kyoko Manabe, played by Yukiko Kobayashi, and Dr. Otane, played by Yoshio Tsuchiya. Kyoko is there to do research on Godzilla and immediately gets a call from her brother Katsuo. Katsuo is the head pilot of the SY-3 and he is played by Akira Kubo. Their phone conversation is interrupted as the research base comes under attack by some gas. The gas expands across the island and knocks the monsters out too.
Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
In Japan, Dr. Yoshida, another one of Jun Tazaki's many roles in this franchise, is trying to figure out what happened when the monsters start attacking various cities across the world. Rodan attacks Moscow, Godzilla invades New York City, Mothra Beijing, and most importantly, Paris is ransacked by Baragon. I mean Gorosaurus. Gorosaurus pretending to be Baragon. So there is actually a story behind this mistake. At the time, the Baragon costume was being loaned out, so Toho was unable to use it. For some reason, they felt the need to just pretend it was Baragon, even though Gorosaurus looks nothing like him. I'm not sure if they just thought the viewer was dumb or would not notice, but either way, this is pretty lazy. The scene should have either been rewritten, shot later, or not even have shown the monster coming out of the ground. What is even worse is that even the English dub does not correct the name either. Anyway, we're only 12 minutes into the movie and we already have this many monsters attacking the city? Oh, hell yeah, this is gonna be one awesome monster fest.
十分なる警戒が必要です。
引き上げて。
おい、帰れ！
しかしどうして受信機を体の中に埋め込んだんでしょう。
先生、これで怪獣を操縦してるんじゃないですか。
君もそう思う。大谷博士も怪獣と同じように操縦されている。
ああ、そうだっけな。元気でやってるだが。
皆さん、この石のような形をした物体、これが現在世界を撹乱しているキラーク星人の怪獣操縦機であることが国連科学委員会で確認されました。しかもそれは全く思いがけない場所から意外な形で発見されています。ドーバーの断崖から、スペインでは教会の尖塔から、またアルプスの雪渓からは氷の塊のような形で。
The SY-3 is called back to base when they spot a UFO. They try to chase it but lose it, and then they are told they need to head back to Earth to inspect the lab on Monsterland. After returning, they come to discover the base was taken over by an alien race called the Kilax. There, The monsters are being controlled by remote. They refuse to join the Kilax, so the other scientists under their control try to take Katsuo and the others hostage. An exciting gun battle breaks out and the pilots escape with Otani as their prisoner. Later, Yoshida and Katsuo interrogate Otani without success. While their back is turned, Otani leaps out of the window and a fight over his corpse begins with another groundbreaking gunfight between the UN's police and some of the scientists helping the Kilax. Otani's body is examined and the doctors find a small silver ball implanted beneath his skin right behind his ear. It turns out that this is a radio transmitter and a search begins to find more of them that are spread across the earth. It is discovered that the Kilax have disguised the transmitters as normal objects such as rocks and coconuts. Kyoko sneaks into Tokyo and is used as a transmitter in order to call Godzilla, Rodan, Mothra, and Manda into the city. They attack it and we get to see some really impressive looking miniatures destroyed. We are then shown the remains of Tokyo, once again probably honing into the original movie's strategy, and are then taken to the UN's underground base that has survived the city's devastation. Katsuo learns that the Kilax were keeping everyone distracted while they took control of the Izu Peninsula. Suddenly, Kyoko appears before everyone to give them the Kilax demands when Katsuo rips off her earrings. The earrings are what was controlling her, but when they question Kyoko, she has no memory of anything that has occurred. The military tries to attack Isu, but is met with gigantic resistance. And Geras is one of these monsters to appear. See? I told you he wasn't dead. A small group of soldiers and Katsuo search for the Kilax base on foot, but they are once again halted by Godzilla. Fortunately, Katsuo and two others are able to sneak into a cave, which turns out to be the cave they were looking for. This is not the cave you are looking for. No, really, this is not the cave you are looking for. This is... shoot. There, they are greeted by the Kilax, and it is revealed that the spaceship they saw back on the moon belonged to them. After a brief statement, the Kilax let the trio go. It is soon discovered the source of their transmissions are coming from the moon, so Katsuo and his group of pilots head out on the SY-3. They find the base and land. Upon landing, the ship is immediately attacked by giant flamethrowers. They set the ship up to resist the danger and begin their offensive maneuvers against the Kilax. Should we do something or just stand here? I think we should just stand here. The pilots head out to investigate the base after destroying its walls and come to find that the Kilax have turned into some type of worm creatures hiding inside of rocks. Oh, Japan. Katsuya destroys the radio transmitter and they head back to Earth. There, they report their findings and one of the scientists discovers that the Kilax are actually living metal. Partly metal, partly real. And that they are unable to live without extremely hot temperatures. Godzilla returns to Japan's bay only for it to turn out that Yoshida has been successful in taking control of the monsters now. They lead them to the Kilax base in Mount Fuji when King Ghidorah flies in to stop them. Wait. If Ghidorah couldn't defeat Rodan and Godzilla when they were on their own, and then again when Mothra was with them, how did the Kilax expect Ghidorah to win when there's a bunch of monsters? A battle begins, but ultimately Ghidorah is no match for them. Duh! They kill him. The Kilax sent out a new monster, the Fire Dragon, to destroy the lab on Monsterland in order to break their control of the monsters. Their plan is moot, however, as Godzilla still attacks and destroys their base. The SY-3 battles the Fire Dragon, which turns out to just be a UFO, and it crashes before exploding. The monsters are returned to Monsterland, and we get to see a few more faces appear. That was the Snorefest Destroy All Monsters. Okay, to be fair, it's not that it's a terrible movie by any means, but it would be like if you got all your favorite artists together to do a concert, and this is what they gave you. It is just so slow-moving, boring, and poorly paced. The monsters appear right from the get-go, only to have large chunks of nothing going on in between. Now this may sound like something you expect from a Godzilla movie, but like I said, the pacing is horrible. We have a 30-minute chunk of nothing going on but searching for rocks, boring shootouts, and exposition without anything else going on. There is no exact motive behind the Kilak's go, and they are such boring villains. They do nothing but stand there and talk, and talk, and talk some more. They say they want to live in peace with the humans, but why? The most we ever learn about these beings is that they are tentacle monsters sleeping in rocks or something. Why would they want Earth when the vast majority of the planet is not even remotely hot? That would be like trying to conquer Earth when water is harmful to you. Or being vulnerable to diseases. It just doesn't make sense. At least the Exagians and Astro Monster were going after Earth for its infinite supply of water. There just isn't any reason for them to want to live on our planet when there are planets with much hotter atmospheres out there. The characters themselves have good actors, but again, they are a bore to watch. Everyone is there just because the movie requires them to be. None of them really are given any sort of personality to make them stand out. Even the characters from Son of Godzilla seem deep and engaging compared to these boring time wasters. Hell, the movie gives such a heavy focus on these characters that we should know something about them, but we do not. They aren't even fun characters, and we don't see any sort of friendship or anything build between them. Again, they are just there. The new Godzilla suit is not the greatest either, but at least it is a vast improvement over that hideous creation we had in the last one. The eyes are still really big, but unlike the 65 suit, they do not move, which is a shame. Nevertheless, I'm just waiting to see Godzilla start doing this.
Cowabunga!
The rest of the monster suits are fine or have the same issues I had with them previously, such as Rodan. Again, I found it lazy on Toho's part when dealing with Baragon, but whatever. I'm also happy to see Ghidorah's back though. Finally, I also like the idea of an island where the monsters are kept, even if it does seem kinda childish. The effects and music are by far the best part of the movie. The miniatures look absolutely fantastic, especially the ones used during the attack on Tokyo. The buildings looked as though they were actually collapsing like buildings and not cardboard. The streets look good, as do the tanks. Akira Ifukube's score was impressive, even though it was a reuse of a lot of previously heard themes. I really liked the music used when Katsuo was taking out the Kilak's transmitter. Overall, Destroy All Monsters should have been one of the best Godzilla movies in the franchise, if not the best. Instead, what we got was a movie with horrible pacing, boring characters, and a lack of monster action. Now, the lack of monster action could have been fine if the rest of the movie had been on its A game, but it wasn't. Instead, Toho gave us one of their biggest misfires, and the biggest reason to enjoy this movie is for the fan service. Well, once again, I must bid you farewell. Stay tuned next time for when I tackle All Monsters Attack. Bye.